welcome to Walking Wilder. I'm back, and this is an intuitive reading. If it resonates with you, please hit like and subscribe. Perhaps leave me a message. I'd love to hear from you guys. And welcome in if you are new. Welcome back if you've been here before. The first card that came out is the orphan card, and there's this feeling with this of being quite alone, of feeling that you have to take on the responsibility for, well, your own life, but also just for a lot of things in general. A feeling of perhaps not having enough space to be who you truly are. It seems like this is just a struggling type of energy. There's a card of the vow here, and this feels to me like you've made a vow to yourself, perhaps in a previous life, perhaps earlier in this life, but you kind of made you made a vow to yourself to not be, or to not let anyone else, kind of dictate where you're going or how you want to live, what's important to you, who you are, that type of thing. It's kind of like this survivor energy of, well, things has been rough, so I'm going to depend on only myself type of energy. There's something here about the vision that you hold for your life. See the two owls. So there's also something about a life lived and wisdom, and kind of pulling on the knowledge that life has given you. I don't know, you probably can't see it, but up here on the mountaintop there's this little bitty person standing inside a cave here, which gives me kind of the hermit energy of withdrawing into yourself, kind of reflecting on what's important for me, where am I at on my spiritual journey, where am I at in life, what's what is all of this. There's a lot of hands in these cards. Here's the child's hand, and this here, which kind of, there's like two hands here, but it's also, I don't think that's what it is. I think it's supposed to be a diamond of some sort, but it kind of looks like, and this is sort of barbaric, but it sort of looks like the hand was chopped off. So there's this sense of needing to detach from whatever vow this is, whatever you promised yourself in a previous life or a previous part of this life. There's this sense of needing to detach, needing to let it go, really, in order to proceed on the road here, the vision, following your dreams, but not following your dreams in this, now I'm going to, it's more of on a deeper level, on a level of kind of like reconnecting. See these hands? Again, hands, but see how they're here, they are, it's like you're kind of holding on to your, to yourself, to your own, this could be another person, of course, but it feels to me like you finally come to a point where you are taking full responsibility for your own well-being. Kind of like, it's time to leave a pattern of perhaps overgiving to other people, or not just really putting yourself in an upright position here, in a position of being important. It's like other people, other places, other things has been more more important to you. So you can't see the sign anyway. So there's a sense of, there's change in the air here. Talk to me, Spirit, about what is the challenge here for this group of people who is going to find this reading and resonate with it. What's the challenge in this? Queen of Cups at the bottom here, which, you know, she's very intuitive, she's very loving, she's very, I don't know, I always get this energy of, you know, being on a quest to find information, you know, about who she is on a deeper level type of thing. She also has this snake here, this energy of shedding the skin to grow, to expand. So, Knight of Wands, the Fool, Queen of Swords. Yeah, it's, you know, in this particular deck, this Knight of Wands always gives me this sense of kind of like calling to, you know, Source, going like, help me here, you know, being in agony of some sorts. You know, he's like, just freaking show me the way type of thing. But, you know, it is this energy of looking for something, of wanting to move forward, of wanting to let something go. And I know this is not really maybe the typical energy of this, you know, he kind of has some other qualities in other sets of cards, but here that's always, you know, he seems to be on a vision quest to me. It's like I am out here trying my best to figure out, you know, who I am on a deeper level, where I'm going, what's, you know, happening here, in search of this new beginning. You know, here's the Fool card. I don't know, can you guys see that? Oh, this lightning is not good. See if I can somehow, hold on a second. I don't know if that's better. That might be too dark. You can kind of better see the cards, which, you know, is what it's all about. But here's the Fool card, this new beginning. But see how, you know, she's very young, of course. The Fool archetype is this young energy, this kind of innocence, starting from, you know, scratch, going to explore the world, that kind of energy. And here's the Queen of Swords, which, you know, she sees things very clearly. So to me, this is kind of like you being on this quest to learn about yourself, learn about the world, you know, trying to figure out, what do I want? What do I want my life to look like? What do I need to let go of? How can I create a foundation for myself here that's stable? What do I need to see? You know, this Queen of Swords, she can be quite direct. She can be very, you know, well, cold might be, you know, but logical and you know, sort of like, well, hey, this is how I see it. So it's like there's this energy of really wanting to see things clearly, but it's like it needs to be mixed with this, well, at least it needs to take into account this energy of the Fool here, of this new beginning. Sort of like you need to find your way, you need to grow with this Queen of Swords, but don't let go of the innocence part, you know, the innocent part of you that has the big dreams, that has the faith in humanity, that has, you know, you know, that type of thing. Yeah, there's something there. Like you need to, you know, step away from this feeling of not being connected. You know, the orphanage has this feeling of not really belonging, of not really being connected to maybe the community or, you know, source or whatever it is, but it's like there's a sense of loneliness there. So perhaps the search here really is for connection. Perhaps the search really is for finding, you know, a way to reconnect to deeper parts of yourself also. All right, tell me more, Spirit. of Wands here. But this can be the inner discussions with yourself, but it can also be representative of everything that's going on in the world around you. You might be like, oh my goodness, I can't stand any more news. I can't stand any more bickering, people being not so nice to each other, conflicts, that type of thing. Here's the Four of Cups. Seeing how it's like this top, here they're full of color, they're full of life, they're full of, but on the bottom it's kind of muddy. It's like you're seeking some sort of balance. And on this, it just keeps, it strikes me that, yes, it seems like here are the hands, you're longing for connection, but the vision you have is also you on this mountaintop in this cave by yourself, For some of you, this could be that you have a vision of things you want to teach, of wisdom that you have learned in this life or have with you from previous lifetimes, and you kind of intuitively know you're here to teach, you're here to guide, you're here to mentor, you're here to show the way, or whatever it is you feel called to do. But you also know that that position can be kind of lonely, because it's no matter how relatable you are, no matter how authentic, kind, all of that, they'll always, if you're picturing the classroom, there's always a division between the teacher and the students. There can be, great respect and all of that, but it's like the community that is among the students that are, at that same level. And I'm not saying, you're on a different level per se, but it's like you have wisdom that they are wanting, so that connects them in a sense, but you can't be one of them because you already have that wisdom. I hope this makes sense, but it's like there's a division between having this orphanage, being alone, being having to go it on my own, and then a vow that you have made that may have to do with teaching, that may have to do with being, some sort of leader in some sort of leadership position. But you just intuitively know that in order to do that, you have to put yourself in a position where, once again, you're kind of alone, or at least have the feeling of there's certain communities or groups that you just cannot be a part of in the same way that they are. Yeah, there can be friendships and all of that, but I hope you get the jinx of it. So it's like there's almost this discussion within yourself, kind of this struggle within yourself. All right, Spirit, this is a little diffuse. Can I know something about supporting energies here? What can we know about that? It's the Empress at the bottom, which she's grounded, she's kind, she's loving, she's wise, she's all the four queens in the deck. But she's also the Emperor, which in order to be the Emperor, there has to be people that are not the Emperor, kind of thing, metaphorically speaking. Yeah, the Higher Priestess here. See, in this deck, I always kind of feel like this is you and your guides, you and your higher self, you and Source, or two sides of you, whatever it is, 2 points of view. But it's like there you are. And here are the Three of Cups, which, is about community, is about friendship, is about all of these things. So it's like you kind of, there's one of these that wants to be a part of this, and there's one that knows, no, I have to be the leader, the wise one, the one that's kind of, leading the ball, I hear. I don't know. So it is this inner struggle between the vision that you kind of know you came here for this. This is your soul's journey, you know, see all the beautiful colors there. To share this wisdom at this time. Tell me a little bit more about the supportive energy, Spirit. Yeah, Queen of Wands. She's very passionate, very grounded, creative, you know, kind of a powerhouse of divine feminine energy. But she also, in this deck, looks a little like, you know, I don't know, it's a little sad in a way, you know. Kind of, again, this underlying sense of having to go it alone, having to be, you know, the one that is not quite part of the group. It's kind of like you're making a sacrifice in order to, you know, fulfill this vow of being the teacher that you might have made at a different point, or your soul has, you know, decided this is what I want to explore. But the human part of you is like longing for that connection that is just not really readily there. Anyway, here's the Five of Wands still at the bottom of the deck. Knight of Cups. Yeah, you know, see how this is you sitting here contemplating, talking to Spirit, all by yourself, surrounded by water, which of course, you know, symbolizes emotions. And so it's like you're kind of connecting to the universe, but it's making you feel very alone, you know, in the middle of the water on this stone, all by yourself. Tell me about that, Spirit. Yeah, here's the vision. See how the third eye is here? This is your vision for what you're wanting to create. So for some of you, if you resonate with this, you have this vision of something you want to create in the world, something you came here to give, to teach, to, you know, share. But you also intuitively know that in order to be able to do that, you have to spend a lot of time on this journey. This is going to take a lot of your energy. It's going to take a lot of your time. And some people might not see the benefit of that. So you know, you will need to communicate with Spirit, with your guides, with the archangels, and kind of, you know, hold on to yourself to stay in that role. Type of, you have to want this enough to choose it, kind of thing. This is a strange, well, not strange, you know, but yeah. What don't we, the viewers, see coming here, Spirit, in the next couple of months or so? Seven of Swords. This can be kind of a harsh, you know, Seven of Swords can be betrayal and lies and things like that. But in this particular deck, I'm always like, I see this bolt of light, kind of like the sun coming up, you know, after the darkness. So my feeling with this is that slowly but surely, you'll kind of become more comfortable with this version of being, if that makes sense. You'll kind of, you'll be more accepting of, okay, this is the choice I've made, this is the way I can do it, this is how I can get it to make sense, and not feel so left out, kind of. Tell me more about the Seven of Swords here. I am sorry. Oh. I'm sorry, guys. I don't normally edit my videos because I kind of feel like whatever comes through is what needs to come through. So there can be something, since my throat is closing up, there can be something about you having a hard time, you know, speaking about what it is you want to do, kind of feeling like, well, maybe I shouldn't, you know, mention it. With this Seven of Swords, there can also be an element of, don't necessarily tell everybody everything right now. If you're in the process of creating a new process, you know, a new process, maybe you are creating a new process, a new project is what I wanted to say. But if you are that, don't necessarily share all the details with everybody else. Here's the Five of Pentacles again. So it is this kind of like, some people may not agree with what you're wanting to create in the world. So don't put yourself in the position of having to defend that, just don't tell them. Unless, it's someone really close to you that for some reason needs to know, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to quit my job and then I'm going to blah, blah, blah. There might be situations. But to the general public, I want to say, you really don't. You really don't need to tell everybody everything all the time. So there is kind of this sense of don't put yourself in a position where you have to defend your views and your plans and all of that all the time. That takes up energy that you don't need to, kind of raise above that. See how the fox is sitting on the top of the Ten of Wands here. It's like, this is all the burdens, all the discussions, all the, conflicting. And he's climbed on top of it, and he's like, I'm not going to participate in that end of that. The tens are also endings. And so this is like you deciding, I am here with my intuitive foxy self. And foxes, at least where I live, have this... used to be really deeply shamanic symbols, because they live in a cave that they make underground, but they come up at night and kind of walks the streets. I wanted to say that's not what I meant, but walk yeah, am above ground. So it's like this above below type of situation. So this is you kind of being able to see both sides of something, being able to see, your own shadows, the shadows of the collective, but being up, connecting to spirit. So perhaps what you're working on is something about the collective shadows or people shadows, or, the way we treat each other, the things we don't see about each other, that type of thing. But in any way, this to me is like the energy of you, putting yourself above that and just being like, I'm not going to spend my time being, in this energy of always having to defend everything, of being in conflict. See, here's the Hermit again. There's the guy in his cave up on the top of the mountain. And, here's a girl, a woman, you out there by yourself, connecting to spirit, doing your thing, doing whatever it is you're feeling called to do, without, playing all the power struggle games, all the ego games out there. And this, this is my karma card, justice. You are supposed to do whatever it is you're doing. This is what you came here to do. Your soul knows this. So it's like, it's like accepting your faith, kind of accepting this is what I came here to do, and it might, at least initially, cause you some connection. Here's the Two of Cups, but the right people will find you. Two of Cups is a soul bond card too. This is your soul tribe. You will reach eventually, the people that understands the gifts that you have to give them, that understands that the wisdom you have, the knowledge you have, can help them on their journey. And my feeling with this is also that, you are, you're going to be here on the mountaintop in that cave, but other people can come up to the mountaintop in the cave. There's other people like you that knows these things, that are, that you can, there's like a support system for you. You just, Three of Wands, see, there's like three of you at least that can connect in this way, that can share these things, that can understand these things. So it may not be that on a big level out in the world, a lot of people will deeply understand you. But Spirit is saying with this, they don't have to. You just have to hold the vision of finding the few close people that do. There's something in that. Can we get some advice, Spirit? Two of Pentacles. Yeah, you know, the balancing act. The kind of like making sure that you have the energy for doing whatever you came here to do. Staying grounded, staying, you know, connected, kind of being in this sense of flow here. There's definitely a call for a balancing act. And here's the Temperance. So, you know, yeah, this is, you know, you being connected, but also grounded. See how she's standing on, you know, this rock thing here. But there's all this magic energy around her, you know. She's grounded, but she's still connected. And it's like there's flow here. The World, yeah. So this is, you know, the World is typical about endings and stuff. But here I'm kind of like, this is Spirit saying, hey, you know, you got this. You are, you know, in Temperance energy. And here's the whole world waiting for whatever it is you have to give, whatever it is you're wanting to create. You just need to find your balance with it. Make the right choices. And not perhaps be so, not scared, but so, paying so much attention to, you know, things being paying so much attention to, you know, the Five of Wands energy, the struggle, the disconnection, all of that, the disturbances. I can hear one of my kids, I can hear my dog. I don't know if you guys can. But, you know, there's it's like staying focused, you know, remembering that you have made a vow to come and do something that's very important. You know, this is your mission, your quest to share this wisdom, to, you know, be on this path. Can I have a few more, Spirit? Yeah, there's the Ten of Cups. Seven of Cups at the bottom here. That can be a bit confusion. You can tell I don't speak English every day anymore, which, you know. Here's the Strength card. So yeah, you got the Strength, and here's the Ten of Cups. You know, this will, walking this path, following this path, will, yeah, in some instances, it will take a lot of energy. It will take a lot of, you know, effort and that type of thing. And there might be things that are difficult. But eventually, this is your Ten of Cups. This is your happiness. This is what your soul came here to do, what you are longing for on a deeper level. And, you know, that's a beautiful energy. So don't, you know, let yourself get distracted in this Seven of Cups, which to me is like all the information all over the place, you know, out in the world, people bickering, people having different opinions about all kinds of stuff. It's like it's so easy to be distracted these days because there's so much not so nice stuff going on. But it's like, you know, keep the vision with the Three of Wands here. Hold on to what you came here to do. Don't let yourself get distracted of other people's, you know, weird energy. Here is the Page of Pentacles. See, she has this kind of like innocent things, kind of like the Fool. It's like take your attention away from all the BS that goes on and focus on being, you know, a clean channel, perhaps, if you're doing, you know, work like that, but being a source of goodness, a source of love, of potential, of, you know, growth, not bickering. Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, there's a need for getting out of this. This is the Eight of Swords, which talks about, you know, being stuck in your head, feeling overwhelmed, feeling kind of anxious and that type of thing. And this is really a call to try to put that beside you and just, you know, remember, keep the vision, you know, keep your focus. Remember this. This is the vision, wisdom, love, connection. Not, you know, all of the BS that goes on out there. One more card, Spirit. Two of Wands, yeah. Choose the grounded path. Choose the path that leads to, you know, something solid, something passionate, knowledge you can share with the world, something that keeps you connected. See how these two, you know, are connecting worlds. This is you being grounded and connected. So choose that path. Don't let yourself get sucked into, you know, Facebook comments and all of whatever it is. There's so much BS. Don't go there. Remember, you came here to teach something, whatever it is that is your vision. Go for that. All right. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you greatly. And please give it a thumbs up. Perhaps subscribe to my channel if you feel called to do so. And I'll see you in another reading. Big love.